various complications of benign prostatic hyperplasia. So when the urine outflow is obstructed, the smooth muscles, the smooth muscle present in the wall of the bladder become hypertrophied. क्योंकि उनका ज़्यादा फोर्स लगानी पड़ेगी तो उनकी हाइपरट्रॉफी हो जाएगी. That leads to hardening of wall of bladder that make the bladder very much irritable, which is responsible for these symptoms like frequency, urgency, nocturia and hesitancy, etc. So this is due to hypertrophy of the wall of bladder. Hypertrophy of the wall of bladder. Other complication is urinary tract infections. This is the basic principle that whenever our tube is obstructed, just imagine that there is a hyperplastic nodule which causes the obstruction of urethra here. तो उसमें से क्या होगा कि यूरिन आउटफ्लो जो है obstruct हो चुका है, जिसकी वजह से क्या होगा, the bacteria begin to accumulate here and begin to proliferate and responsible for causing urinary tract infections. So whenever a tube is obstructed, there will be infection. So if the tube is obstructed here, there will be infection proximal to it. And the other one is the in long standing benign prostatic hyperplasia, there are chances of hydronephrosis. So these are the various complications of benign prostatic hyperplasia: hardening of the wall due to hypertrophy of the muscle in the wall of bladder, making the bladder very irritable, urinary tract infection and hydronephrosis. So now what is the morphological picture of prostate gland? जैसा कि मैं आपको लेक्चर के स्टार्ट में बता चुका था कि सबसे अंदर की तरफ बेसल लेयर होती है, made up of cuboidal cells. Then there is a layer of columnar cells called luminal cells. And surrounding is the fibromuscular stroma. So first of all, what are the gross features? On gross features, there is a enlarged prostate gland. Enlarged prostate gland can be seen under the bladder, and if we see the cross section, there are hyperplastic nodules can be seen bulging outward. Hyperplastic nodules can be seen bulging outward, and these hyperplastic nodules are causing compression of the urethra, making the urethra slit-like. Okay, this is the cross section in which you can see that the circumscribed hyperplastic nodules can be seen, which are bulging from the surface, and the urethra is compressed between these hyperplastic nodules and become a slit-like. So this is the gross appearance. The size of the prostate gland is obviously increased. And what are the microscopic features? So as I already mentioned that there is a decrease in the turnover or apoptosis of these glandular component, and there is a proliferation of this fibromuscular stroma. So there will be proliferating glandular component due to decreased turnover and fibromuscular स्ट्रोमा, मतलब दोनों की प्रोलिफरेशन एक किस्म की हो रही है, दोनों प्रोलिफरेट कर रहे हैं. Now if we see these glandular components, you can see there is a outer layer of flat cells, cuboidal to flat cell, outer layer of cuboidal to flat cells. Inner to this basal layer there is a luminal cells made up of tall columnar cells. Luminal layer consists of tall columnar cells, and this luminal cells secrete a proteinaceous material in the lumen called corpora amylacea. So there is a proliferating glandular and fibromuscular stroma. If we see the glandular component, there is a outer layer of flat cells, the inner layer of luminal cells, and the luminal cell secrete a proteinaceous material called corpora amylacea. Now, how to diagnose? As I already mentioned, that the prostate gland is located in front of the rectum. So if this is the bladder, this is the prostate gland, and this is the rectum and anal canal. So digital rectal examination is performed. Digital rectal examination is performed to palpate the nodules, hyperplastic nodules of the prostate gland. So digital rectal examination is performed, and secondly is the prostate specific antigen. The luminal cells, which the inner layer of luminal cells release prostate specific antigen that liquefy the gel like semen so that it can easily swim into the female genital tract. So PSA is normally produced by the luminal cells of granular component of prostate gland. So as there is a proliferation of these luminal cells, as the number of luminal cells have been increased, the production of PSA is also increased. So increased serum level of PSA can be seen, and after biopsy you can see the various morphological features as I already mentioned. And the treatment of the benign prostatic hyperplasia, the main aim of treatment is to relieve the urine outflow obstruction. So 5-alpha reductase inhibitors are used. Other drugs like this includes finasteride, alpha-1 receptors blocker antagonist. For example, alpha-1 receptors are present on the smooth muscles of the prostate gland. So alpha-1 receptor blocker prevent the contraction of these smooth muscles. For example, the drug of choice for this case is the tamsulosin. And if the BPH is refractory to these medical treatment, so the surgical interventions are used. So we have discussed about what is the definition of benign prostatic hyperplasia, what are the various risk factors of benign prostatic hyperplasia, what is the pathogenesis, what are the various clinical features due to the urine outflow obstruction, what are the various complications, what is the morphological picture, how to diagnose this case by digital rectal examination and prostate specific antigen, and what is the treatment. 5-alpha reductase inhibitor like finasteride, alpha-1 receptor blockers like tamsulosin, and if BPH is refractory to the medical treatment, surgical interventions are used. So यहाँ पे हमारा लेक्चर खत्म होता है. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and also like the